to the final touch of paint, our dedication remains unwavering. It's not just about remodeling. It's about legacy. In Minot and Bismarck, ServPro is your partner in transformation. We don't just build back. We elevate every space.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealership.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. PSP Network. It's game day.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Fall is surely upon us this time of year as we get into the month of October, and the cooling temperatures mean that the high school soccer season, at least to this state, is heating up around this time, and we have a massive matchup in the WDA to bring to you tonight on the PSP Network. It's undefeated Jamestown against 3-2 Minot High. Both of these teams are safe. They know they're going to the state tournament later on this month out in Fargo. Jamestown already knows they will represent the WDA as the conference's champion, as the number 1 seed going into that field of 8. Minot can reach the number 2 seed today or with at least a win in any of their last 2 matches, and they're going to want to do it tonight for sure in their final home match at Dwayne Carlson Stadium in 2024. With that, welcome into the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Owen Patterson on the call for tonight's matchup between the Blue Jays and the Magicians. This is the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show with timely services that won't slow you down and no appointment needed. It's a stay in your car, drive-through oil change service. They'll take about 15 minutes at any of their locations in Bismarck or right here in Minot. You can also find out what they do online at VIOC.com. Well, this matchup puts a historically good Jamestown Blue Jays team on the pitch tonight against Minot High. And going back to the earlier match these teams played against one another, which was in Jamestown, it was a match to forget for Minot High and a match that really set the tone for the season for Jamestown. The Blue Jays got out of the gates in a hurry with 5 goals in the first half, and that's not a recipe for success if you're a Jamestown opponent to allow that many goals that quickly. 3 goals were scored in a matter of 6 minutes in that match, and many of them by Edie Ramadani, one of the most prolific scorers the state has ever seen in boys soccer, with over 30 points this season. He's even approaching a 40-point season in his senior campaign. The All-Stater a year ago, no doubt, is the All-Stater this year, and he's going for the WDA and State Senior Athlete of the Year with another strong performance today against the Minot Magicians. Minot High has looked impressive in their last 3 matches, outscoring their opponents 22-0. Of course, those opponents, though, have been the bottom 3 in the standings, but that's called taking care of business when you need to. It's counted for 4 wins, as the Dickinson victory was a double counter, solidifying Minot's spot in the state tournament later on this month in Fargo. And again, like was mentioned earlier, they can play for the number 2 seed in that tournament, lock up being in the top part, or the top half of the WDA teams going to state with a win today or on Thursday against the Bismarck Demons. And individually, well, they've been led by Sam Achanis over the past couple of matches, and he's shown his goal-scoring ability on display against Minot North the last time the Magi were on the pitch and on the air here on the PSP Network. We have more of this Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show coming up next, including the Northern Plains Heating and Air keys to the game. Keep it here. This is WDA Soccer on the PSP Network.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Jersey Mike slices your sub right in front of you, see? The slicer, the meat and cheese, it has a rhythm.
This is the rhythm of the slice, oh yeah. The rhythm of the slice, this is the rhythm of the slice, oh yeah.
Order for Danny?
Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
Changed our name, but we haven't changed the DNA of who we are. We still offer the best product at the best price with the same people. For over 25 years, we've been your only choice for tires in the local area, providing all major brands under one roof at a fair price for your family's budget. Plus that excellent service after the sale with free rotations, free alignment check, free flat repairs with our exclusive Plus plan. That tradition continues today. Looking for tires you can trust? Choose us. Trusted Tire and Auto.
Welcome back into the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show from Dwayne Carlson Stadium in Minot, North Dakota, just a few minutes away from kickoff here between number 1 and number 2 in the West Region. Jamestown already have clinched the West Region title last week. Well, what do they need to play for today? Let's just jump right into the Northern Plains Heating and Air keys to the game to figure that out. With over 25 years of experience as your heating and air experts and the factory authorized dealer for AeroSeal, there's no other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains. Find them online at northern-plains.com. For the Jamestown Blue Jays, there is still something to play for at this point in the season. 14-0. They've already won the West Region title. They're already going to be the number 1 seed out of the West in the state tournament. They're already just going to be at that state tournament, which is big for the Blue Jays going back after last year. So what do they need to do today against Minot? Obviously, this is no opponent to just sneak by. They're not going to be able to just walk past Minot here, but this is a team, speaking with head coach Brandy Hardy before today's match, and it's clear Jamestown has set a goal for themselves, and that's to be perfect this season. The Blue Jays looking to become the first team since 2003 to sweep WDA competition. That was St. Mary's that accomplished that incredible feat over a decade ago, or 2 decades ago, actually. Jamestown looking to be the most historic season in WDA history. No team has ever gone 16-0 in a season, so today one more step along that path of perfection for Jamestown. For Minot High, early minutes matter. This is an 80-minute match. It might seem long in theory, but the match got out of hand for them last time against Jamestown early on with, again, 5 first-half goals they conceded. The early minutes definitely important for Minot to stay in this match, and if they're close at halftime, Minot with their second-half dominance that we'll speak about later on today, but it has definitely been something that we haven't seen all year long. It's usually been a first half for Minot High that's been really, really good offensively. Now it's been the second half for Minot, closing out games, so staying close and competitive to Jamestown. Undefeated Blue Jays will give Minot a great chance at picking up the number 2 seed out of the West and a big late-season victory heading into the state tournament in Fargo. Those were the Northern Plains Heating and Air keys to the game. Again, we are just moments away from kickoff here between Jamestown and Minot. It's the final home game of the season for the Magi. So senior night, of course, there's a lot of seniors and a lot of seniors that have played a big part in this year's campaign for the Magi, as Minot, in their last match against Minot North, we didn't know it by the time that we signed off the air against Minot North, but because of some upsets around the region, Minot High actually qualified for state that night, and now they're going for seeding today against Jamestown and on Thursday, their final match of the season at Bismarck. But Minot locked up their 15th consecutive state tournament appearance, and with Bismarck High being eliminated, that is now the longest active streak in the state. 15 consecutive seasons at the state tournament is ridiculous in any sport, and boys soccer for sure for Minot, as really it's only been Minot and Bismarck with streaks that long. Even the West Fargo teams, the Fargo Davies, the Fargo Souths, and Jamestown have not been able to hold on to streaks that long, but 15 consecutive years for Minot. Quite the story there for the Magi. Again, they're trying to reverse what happened earlier in the season against Jamestown. And Minot High, a team that just hasn't played up to the level of the top half of the competition in the WDA this year. Their record below 500. In fact, all 3 losses this season for Minot High against teams that are going to state from the West region. So obviously the East is even a step higher in competition once you get to face them in the state tournament, as is evident by recent state tournament results. So Minot High, they're going to want to have a good showing here, or a good warm-up before the state tournament. And that's exactly what Jamestown mentioned as well, speaking with their team before the game got started today, is that Jamestown, they also want a nice practice run at it against a state tournament level opponent, as they'll get tonight in Minot High at Minot's home pitch, Dwayne Carlson Stadium. The sun has already set on us today. That means it's going to get cold in a hurry. The sunset has already disappeared over that, or behind that western horizon that you just saw during the keys to the game. So the folks have brought their coats, they've brought their blankets, and they've also brought some costumes, as it seems the theme tonight is Christmas, but let's not skip over fall just yet. It does not have to be winter right now in North Dakota as we turn the calendar over to October tonight. One final reminder, this has been the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Remember, when you're busy, or they know you're busy when you visit any of the Valvoline Instant Oil Change service centers in Minot or Bismarck, they don't waste your time or their own. Technicians can typically perform a full-service oil change in about 15 minutes. Again, those locations are in Bismarck and Minot. You can also find out what they do online at VIOC.com. Elsewhere tonight on the PSP Network, here in Minot even, Century is on the road at Minot North in WDA Volleyball. Century, the #1 volleyball program in the West, and that's really hard to doubt at all. Minot North, the up-and-coming team, the newcomers in the West region, they're looking for a massive upset tonight against the Patriots. That one's already gotten started on the PSP Network. Elsewhere, volleyball in Bismarck, Dickinson and Legacy. That's a really good match, an important one for seeding in the region tournament. Two very competitive teams there between the Midgets and the Sabres. Later on this week, we'll be back on the volleyball court at Magic City campus as the Magets host Bismarck High. That's a rivalry if there's any in the West region, especially in volleyball. And on Friday, a doubleheader of football, Legacy at Mandan and Bishop Bryan at Velva. Should be a fun week as we kick off Week 7 of broadcast on the PSP Network. It's now time for the national anthem here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well done. Getting you set for high school soccer tonight on the PSP Network. Now it's time to meet the starting lineups for these two teams. It looks like the senior night ceremonies or whatever they're planning on doing today might come at halftime, so we'll be prepared for that. If that is the case, then our Magic Towing halftime report will be that. As, again, lots of seniors to get through for Minot High tonight. But first, the starting 11 will begin with the visiting Jamestown Blue Jays. It's Grant Lundy, the goalkeeper. Lundy this season, he's been pretty impressive. If you want to go undefeated, you got to have a good netminder, that's for sure. Lundy saving 92% of shots on goal that he sees. 57 saves and 8 shutouts for Lundy, another senior for Jamestown. Talking about seniors for Minot High, Jamestown, a very veteran group as well. Brady Hardy is the senior midfielder, 2-time second-team All-State selection over his career, looking to make it 3 times as an All-Stater to this season on the first-team list. Gabe Jennison is a senior defenseman. Ian Leary is another senior on defense. Carter Genter, a senior. Jackson Steele, a senior. John Belzer is a junior on defense. Edie Ramadahi, the top scorer in the state. He is a senior midfielder. He is the one to watch. Watch number 10 running up and down the pitch today for Jamestown. Gabe Halko is a senior in midfield. Jake Anderson also in that senior class and the junior on defense. Ethan Otley, he forgot his jersey today, but it has arrived in time for this match to get started, which is a good sign because Ethan is in the starting 11 for head coach Brandy Hardy of the Jamestown Blue Jays. Starting 11 for Minot quickly. Vincent Pelea, Ethan Dengel, Samuel Achanis, Justice Amsbury, Nolan Schmidt, Dylan Oswald, Graydon Wald, Drew Bolender, Dylan Jackson, Isaac Stewart, and Jacob Jackson. A few late-season call-ups as well on the roster for head coach Jordan Foley that we might see tonight. Gage Forthen and Ian Stewart. Forthen just an 8th grader. So plenty of veteran experience for Minot, many seniors in that starting lineup, but they also have a talented group coming up through the ranks for the Magi that we might see on the pitch tonight. Well, it should be a good one. Number 1 and number 2 in the West region, Jamestown on the road in their white and blue kits, the white shirts and white shorts with the blue numbers. Minot High in the home maroon and gold today. Thank you for joining us on the PSP Network. That was the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. It's Minot High who will have first possession here at kickoff. And if they get this match started anything like they did their last time out against Minot North, It was a fast start. It wasn't necessarily goals in the opening few minutes. It took a while for the ball to find the back of the net, but it was consistent. Shots on goal, making Minot North's goalkeeper work early on, and eventually those shots started to get through, and it was pretty much nonstop. After that, getting into the second half as part of a 10-0 win over Minot North. Right away, Minot's possession does not even get into the forward line before Jamestown takes it away, and there's the first touch for Ramadahi. Ramadahi this season, 37 points in just 14 matches, an incredible 23 goals and 14 assists. Again, playing the midfield spot for Jamestown. But it's not just Ramadahi that can score, that's for sure. As Brady Hardy, 27 points, and Ian Leary, another 13 goals. He's the third leading goal scorer on the team at 13. That would be tops among pretty much any other team in the region. Jamestown's offense is silenced on their first possession as the ball gets back to goalkeeper Grant Lundy. But this play in action for Jamestown, but Minot High now with possession. Ball in the middle of the pitch, getting it to Dylan Jackson eventually on a second attempt. But Jamestown's defense all over the leading point scorer for the Magicians, Dylan Jackson. And it's kind of fun to see the game plans for these teams change from match to match. You know, sometimes just who they highlight as the player to guard on a double team, triple team, or it seemed like in that case there was 5 Blue Jays around Dylan Jackson. And I think the game plan for the Jays this evening is don't let Jackson get behind you. They've seen it on film a bunch. We've seen it here from the press box. Jackson gets past that defensive line. It's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He's likely going to win. Throw in for Jamestown on their side of the pitch. Opening 3 minutes of today's match on the PSP Network. Takeaway by Minot High. They'll get it to Jackson on a rebound pass, but it's a little bit too long, and Otley will shoot that ball straight up in the air, and Minot High is going to come down with it. Jackson again. Quick pivot. Now a pass off to Oswald. He's running on the near side. Taken away by Ramadahi. Might not be such an explosive start today, as the defense is doing a lot of the early talking in this one, setting the tone. And Jamestown was scoring in bunches early on in the first meeting between these two programs back in September in Jamestown. Player down for Minot, and that will be a foul against Ramadahi. Trying to figure out here who it was. A Chanis that was tripped. And he's going to take this free kick for Minot. Chanis quarterbacked the Minot High Magicians to a massive offensive output against Minot North, earning Sport Clips MVP of the match honors. There's a ball in the box, and it gets over the head of Jamestown's defense to the goalkeeper, Lundy. Jackson with nearly the game's opening goal. But Lundy was able to stop it. We remain scoreless on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Your life is busy. That's why they'll make managing your money easy. With locations in North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona, visit BNC Bank online at bnc.bank. Big collision there, 30 yards from the end line. Jacob Jackson playing some strong defense there for Minot High. Will force that ball out of bounds, but it goes past the end line, so that sets up a Serve Pro corner kick for Jamestown. 24/7 emergency service and trained technicians using advanced technology and specializing in fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's Serve Pro. Jamestown for the far side corner, right into the middle. Header attempt is knocked away by Minot off the foot from the edge of the box at 18. That goes wide right. The last shot attempt there for Jamestown was made by Ian Leary. Mentioned him, 13 goals, 3 assists on the season. Leary, and that's from a defender. It's from a guy who specializes in defense. 16 points. Some incredible stuff. Flags up. That ball is out of bounds. And Jamestown will take the throw in. Minot trying to clear, but it doesn't get anywhere past Jamestown's offensive setup. Bouncing around in the middle. And it looks like Minot will hang on to this if they can save it from going out of bounds, and that they cannot. Right in front of Minot High's substitutes. It'll be another Jamestown throw-in. There's a long possession for the Blue Jays. Minot has, again, tried to clear the ball, get it out of harm's way, but Jamestown has been quick to take it back, and there's a great example of it. It was Josh Marsland who seemed to have a clear path toward advancing that ball into Minot High territory, but Jamestown and Ramadahi said no. Jamestown will get that throw in. Now Minot, we've seen them at some matches this season really try and focus on showcasing their defensive strength early in matches. See a lot of pressure from all areas of the pitch. Sometimes it's just about playing the really quick game, getting a stop, moving the ball up ahead to scorers like Jackson and Solper and Eklund on the forward line, and this will get more of a clearer idea of the game plan as this first half goes on. Just 7 minutes in. Mitchanis changes directions, now gives off a pass. Here's Oswald. Oh, nice pass through a couple defenders. And falling before making any further progress was Jacob Jackson. That was a nice look for the Magi. Couldn't finish, though. Jamestown keeping the ball on the near side, but that's going to go out of bounds. We'll wait for the throw-in from Ethan Dangle because we have a substitution checking in for first time. Cale Workman. Very nice scoring option coming off of the bench for Coach Foley and Minot High. Workman 3 goals to go along with 3 assists in 2024. Another free kick for Minot. Kalaya will hand it off to Oswald. Takes this from 50 yards away, so probably going to be looking for an assist this time. Chips it into the goal box, and it's caught at the 9-yard mark by Grant Lundy. Talk about his stats this season as the goalkeeper for Jamestown. 92% save rate. 57 saves on 62 shots on net. And he's also been the keeper for a 6-match scoreless streak for Jamestown. They have not allowed a goal in 6 consecutive matches, and to put that into days, it has been since September the 7th that Jamestown has conceded a goal to an opponent. Tell you what, the superlative stats of this matchup are pretty mind-boggling, how these two teams have performed, especially in mid to late September, as this season winds to a close, at least the regular season. Obviously, a second season will begin shortly. Both these teams participating in the state tournament in Fargo. A lot of action there. The ball will still transfer hands. Well, can't really say that. It's soccer. Ball past the end line. Who last touched it? It was Jamestown that did, so a goal kick coming for Minot's goalkeeper, Graydon Wald. Wald this year, also a senior, same as Lundy, his opposing goalkeeper. 44 saves for Wald in 2024 on 60 shots on goal for 73%. He's also been on the pitch for 7 Minot High shutouts and has a scoreless streak of his own. 3 consecutive matches where Minot hasn't conceded a goal, which is really good. It's just 3 less than Jamestown. Now 11 minutes gone by in half number 1 today from Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Here's a Workman. Pass goes to maybe the wrong side that Dylan Jackson wanted. Jackson was cutting towards the middle of the pitch, and Workman went the other way. Jackson had to change direction, and Jamestown will just flick the ball out of bounds. A stoppage here is just going to take my best guess as to why there was an explanation, as Jamestown's Jackson Steele was running back onto the pitch, kind of threw up his hands in front of Workman, maybe to try and knock down that throw-in attempt, but they can't say for sure if that was the reasoning. There was no foul given to either side. That's going to be a ball that goes just out of bounds. Trying to dribble it on the sideline where the Blue Jays. Minot using a lot of substitutions here early on. Today's broadcast on the PSP Network brought to you by the UPS store located on South Broadway in Minot. And open Monday to Friday from 8:30 to 7. On Saturdays from 8:30 to 3. The UPS store located in the Marketplace Foods Plaza for all your packing and shipping needs. 27 minutes remain in half number 1 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's Jamestown nothing, Minot nothing. And now this match has kind of turned into a stalemate here, as we had a lot of stoppages, not a lot of offense recently. But who doesn't like a defensive matchup? We've seen a lot of goals recently being scored on the PSP Network following the Magicians over the last couple of weeks. Again, they've outscored their last 3 opponents 22-0. For Jamestown, it's been a lot of the same as the highest scoring team in North Dakota. Over 70 goals scored through 14 matches. Not only are they the best offense, they're also the best defense, as the Blue Jays have yet to concede 10 goals. Oh, Janice just wasn't aggressive enough to get that ball, and it's taken away by Jamestown. Maybe they can feed off of that to score the game's first goal. Instead, oh, nice play. Trying to see across the pitch as to who that was that kept the ball alive for Jamestown. It was their captain. Brady Hardy. Jamestown still with the soccer ball, making Minot's defense move. They have it in front of the near sideline. Still going. That's Ian Leary. And he just runs out of room and has to play that out of bounds. Good recovery by Minot's defense. Again, they had to shift the whole different side of the pitch there. They catch up and, again, push O'Leary into the corner, and he had nowhere to go. John Belzer onto the pitch for Jamestown as the substitute, and Jamestown definitely not afraid to go to the bench, that's for sure. Jamestown able to clear that ball, and it's actually going to get right into their offensive setup. Back and forth. Now Minot with a touch. Few passes completed for the Magicians. We'll call this a possession. But it's a quick takeaway by Jamestown, nullifying all that progress. Long pass up ahead is knocked down by the Magi. Hard pass to Leary. Leary gets it forward to Jackson Steele. Ramadahi cutting to his left, sets up outside of 18 with the right foot, and it curves just over the crossbar. See what we got on the Ryan Family Dealerships replay here. Oh, that does not look like a replay right there. Look at that. There we go. Now we should have it figured out. For further shots on goal, that one just a little bit too high for Edie Ramadahi. Probably the front runner for some big-time awards across North Dakota. Senior Athlete of the Year is one of them. Player falls down for Jamestown. And Jackson will try and work around the goalkeeper, Lundy, but that's a tough task. It's Gabe Jennison who is responsible for covering Jackson, but again, he hit the turf. Ball goes past the end line. Last touch by Lundy, so serve pro corner kick number 1 coming up for Minot. 24/7 emergency service and trained technicians. It's serve pro. Liner right in front of the net, but it's not playable at all for the Magi, and they'll give it back to Jamestown. A reminder, today's broadcast on the PSP Network is brought to you in part by Minot State. The best way to predict your future is to create it with over 100 areas of study at Minot State University. You'll earn the degree for the career you desire with more than 96% of recent Minot State grads employed or continuing their education. MSU grads get jobs, period. Be seen, be heard, be you. And MSU, that's Minot State University. Stop play. Middle of the pitch. We need a new soccer ball. Might never see that ball again. Jamestown gets the restart. Right at midfield. We get a throw in now as well. To the end line and walk it out of bounds, leading to a serve pro corner kick. Quickly taken by the Blue Jays. Came off the left foot of Hardy. Jamestown still with it. Ramadahi near the end line. And it is kicked out of bounds by Minot's defensive line. Now Graydon Wald will send this one away. Gets to midfield, and it's headed there by Gabe Hulko. But Minot High will pick up the ball. Moving, advancing towards the goal again. Minot maybe hasn't had the most opportunities to score, but they've sure taken some good chances. So you've seen Dylan Jackson get the ball inside of 18. The corner kick. And now a throw in and maybe set up something else, but Jamestown is all over the place. Where the ball is, Jamestown seems to be. Minot just can't get 3 straight passes completed to their teammates. Blue Jays always pushing Minot back a little bit in this first half. And as much as we talk about the goal-scoring ability of Jamestown Blue Jays, a lot of times in soccer it's the defense that'll win all the championships. And, just if you don't follow soccer in this state a whole lot, or maybe if you do, when you go up against the teams from the East, they play really good defense. There's not a lot of goals in the EDC matches or when they meet up at the state tournament. Again, many of these teams don't play non-conference games anymore with the packed 16-game conference schedule. Jamestown, not a single out-of-conference opponent that they'll play. Minot was able to play 2 way back in the middle of August. The Grand Forks squads. Red River, possible state tournament participant as the EDC wraps up their season this week. But it's a lot of low-scoring matches there. A lot of 1-1, 2-1, 1-0 games. So having a good defense is what's going to win you championships there at that tournament. A tournament that has been dominated over pretty much every year by teams from the eastern part of the state. High goal kick there from Lundy. It'll come down inside the midfield circle. Jamestown will move forward with their forward line. Back to midfielder Ian Leary. No steal by the Magi. Still have 18 minutes to go in half number 1. But one of these teams is going to want to pull ahead of the break, that's for sure. Both sides know how important this match is. They understand how good their opponents are. Jamestown may have beaten Minot once this season, but they understand the Magi have continued to grow throughout the year, and they look really good at this point of the season as we get into October. And Minot, you can't deny you're playing a good team when they're 14-0 and on pace for the best record ever in WDA history. Mentioned that in the pregame show that no team has run the table through West Region competition. No losses and not even a tie since St. Mary's in 2003. Jamestown seems to be their goal this season, is to go perfect through conference play. And then, of course, the big goal for every team at the start of the year, hoist the trophy at the end. It was Fargo Shanley that claimed the state championship in 2023, with WDA teams finishing 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So it seems that there might be quite a combined effort there from the West Region squads, who this time around, it'll be a lot of the same teams, Minot, Jamestown, and Legacy going back-to-back. But a new squad as well, Williston, their first ever state tournament qualification at the end of last week. They'll be out there at the state soccer tournament. Jamestown slowly works their way up the pitch. Didn't want to take the deep shot there. Maybe saw Jackson Steele at the bottom of your screen. He was asking for it the whole time. He was on the goal kick from Grant Lundy. And I'm wide open over here. Let's get a play in motion. The Blue Jays, they're not taking any kind of chances. A lot of high percentage plays for Jamestown. That's a pass that might be a little bit too strong. It's going to come to a rolling stop at the end line, helped a little bit by Minot. Oh, sorry, no, that just rolled all the way out of bounds. Minot did not touch it. So a goal kick coming now for Graydon Wald. Kyle Eklund just was announced he's coming in the match. Off the bench for Minot High. Workman missed it. He was able to get the defender out of his way, but And just missed the ball on his pass attempt. There's a nice pass back to Dangle. Workman will get the ball again. Pass it off to Ichanis. Now Minot tries the play of getting it all the way to the other side of the pitch. Jamestown, though, recovers a bit quicker than Minot did on that Blue Jays attempt. And now Jamestown is able to get the takeaway. How does the transition offense look for the Blue Jays? Well, we're going to have to wait as they play back to the defense. Ramadahi sprints ahead. Past one, past two defenders, pass into the box, and it was a little bit high. Intended, of course, for Brady Hardy. But Jamestown again, they'll stay with possession of the ball. Leary has it kicked away by Dangle to applause from the DC Stadium crowd. Wearing maroon and gold, and even one of them a Santa Claus outfit. Blue Jays supporters have sure made the trip. It's not really a close game, a close road game for the Blue Jays in conference play. On the corner kick. Oh, goodness, that one gets through. That one even confused me. We'll see who they give the credit to, as I think we have a Ryan Family Dealerships replay of this one, as it looked like Graydon Wald had it tracked. And then there was one extra touch, or maybe just a fake out there, and Wald misread it. What part of this did we get? Only the celebration. That's too bad. We're going to have to wait for the official announcement. If they can even figure out who actually kicked it in. It was off the corner kick and played towards the net. And again, Wald kind of had it read. There was a white jersey right in front of him. And maneuvered that ball around the goalkeeper in Jamestown. Oh, wasn't even a goal. I don't know what I'm getting so excited about. I didn't even see a penalty there, but it must have been offsides against Jamestown. My mistake. Still learning the game a little bit. So we remain 0-0 after all of that, and doesn't even matter anymore. 12.5 minutes to go before the Magic Towing halftime report. Break down the first half highlights of this one, as well as check out the schedule from around the West region. This is the final week of high school soccer in the state, at least in the regular season, of course. Shot a little bit too high. There from Jamestown. A goal kick for Wald for Minot, who I mistakenly thought had conceded a goal. There's another flag up for offsides. So Jamestown's going to have to give the ball to Minot. Again, I think we said it before in this match. Both sides probably okay with the defensive battle, a low-scoring contest. For Minot especially, like their Northern Plains Heating and Air keys to the game mentioned, keep it close at halftime. Minot has been a really good second-half team as of late. And that'll work in your favor. If you're Jamestown, you're confident in that defense of holding the whole 80 minutes through and just knowing how well you can score. At any moment, Jamestown could find themselves ahead or with a point on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Long pass will be picked up by Wald. That's also something that probably will have to get cleaned up in the second half. Obviously, a credit to the defenses for being in the right spot, challenging those passes, but haven't been very clean. A lot of turnovers in this first half. And as we've said plenty of times before, it's hugely a credit to both teams on the defensive side. Seen that in many sports, though, as there'll be a save by Lundy and a rolling ball towards him. Seen a lot of sports, though, you can put together quite the offense. We're talking about soccer, basketball, football. You can put together quite the offense, but you can really take pride and a good defense. So forcing turnovers, even though you might be giving the ball back, is something that you can really think highly of. Bit of contact from both Minot and Jamestown on that last play. Blue Jays still with it. Here's Otley. Their pass, it won't be picked up by the Blue Jays. Instead, Minot will. They won't even clear. They're just going to work this ball up the pitch. And they'll get a restart now on that foul committed by the Blue Jays. So Minot, sometimes they'll just clear it, see where it goes, see who can catch up to it. But right there, they had a nice connection working down the pitch. And now on the free kick, it'll be a rolling soccer ball to Dangle. He'll find a workman before it's stolen away by the Blue Jays. Less than 10 minutes remain in half number one. Scoreless first half of high school soccer tonight on the PSP Network. Also during the halftime report coming up in 9 minutes' time. We'll take a look at the BNC National Bank out-of-town scoreboard. High school volleyball on the network tonight. Century at Minot North. Dickinson is at Legacy. Our biggest day of broadcasts this week on the PSP Network. Just one volleyball game, the standalone game on Thursday. Should be a good one here from Minot. And then doubleheader of football on Friday. Smack dab in the middle of the pitch with Hardy. Pass it to his right. There's a battle for it on the sideline. Jacob Jackson has been very aggressive defensively today. It's kind of just what he's done all year long. Plays defense, and it is an in-your-face style of defense, that's for sure. Probably not too comfortable as a forward. Ball out of bounds, last touch by Jamestown. Throw in for Minot. They can go pretty quickly here. Don't have a lot of help for Jackson. Jamestown with numbers. Minot will try the play. Goes out of bounds. Another throw in. Justice Amsbury puts the ball in play. Left-footed kick by Oswald. Took a short hop on Lundy. But he does make the save, keeping this game without a goal. Amsbury again. Play is stopped by Jamestown. Long strike, but it just goes off the side of the foot of Jackson Steele. It'll remain in play, though. Blue Jays working around the goal box. So now it's hung up there on the wing. Another shot in towards the net, headed away by the Magi. Getting late in this first half. 6:15 remain. Another ball in the box for Jamestown. A header angled toward the goal, but not enough on it. As that shot attempt on the pass in was taken by Grady Eckert. Eckert off the bench with 5 points this year. Only one player on Jamestown's varsity roster does not have a point this season. They've all contributed. And that goes back to a point I mentioned earlier. Jamestown not afraid to go to the bench. They have a lot of confidence, not just in their starting 11, but everybody they bring on the bus. Read in a post-game article in the Jamestown Sun after a recent match, interviewed head coach Brandy Hardy and said that exact thing. You know, we we're fine going to the bench. We believe they all possess the ability to play at the high level that obviously the leaders of the team have. And if that doesn't instill a little fear in everybody else in the region when those comments are made, you can't stop our starting 11. You can't stop anybody. As Jamestown 14 for 14 in wins this year. 42 points in the standings, which is already a WDA record. And this is the longest conference season of all time with matches played. The addition of Minot North. Play 16 conference games this time around, and 3 points for a win in the standings. Jamestown has picked up every point possible up to their most recent match. 42 points. Nobody has ever done that in the West. A lot of pointing there. Who to go out of bounds off of last, and it was out on Jamestown. Again, Eckert with the ball run around the goal box. Goal kick from Graydon Wald. Minot will lose it out of bounds off of 2 passes. Evaluating the options and throwing it in towards midfield. Stays in play. Minot thought maybe that was out of bounds, but Jackson Steele showcasing some skills. Oswald stopped. Otley, another nice defensive play for the Jays. And now Jamestown moving ahead quickly, led by Jackson Steele. He stops, passes off to his right near the sideline. Nice dribbling there, and then a massive hit. And that will stop play. Standing up quite slowly, and maybe with a limp, Carter Genter took the hit there for Jamestown. Didn't see who was called for the foul. It wasn't a yellow card either, so just a free kick taken from 20 yards on the right wing. By Hardy, gives to Ramadahi. He's going to shoot. Wide left. Past the end line. Goal kick for the Magi. 2:22 left in half number 1. Cale Workman back into the first half for a second time, with just 2 minutes remaining. Want to get the right personnel out there for a late first half goal. This is Coach Foley and the Minot High Magicians. Instead, Jamestown will take it away. Steele right in the middle of the field right now. Out on Minot. Jamestown will restart. Clear by the Magi. Nice defensive work. 90 seconds remain in the first half. Ball stuck at midfield. Minot's defense playing well here to close out the first 40 minutes. But Jamestown's offense has stayed in possession of the ball more than Minot has, that's for sure, here in the last 10 minutes and counting. Ball taken away by the Magi. But Jamestown has it right back. Blue Jays running short on time here in half number 1, but a ball at 9 yards. Wald, a diving stop. Eckert has been tough to stop for Jamestown here in this for Minot here in the first half, as he's gotten a lot of touches inside the goal box. And right there in front of Wald, tried to go at the bottom corner, but just couldn't get it past the keeper. 26 seconds. Running off the clock. Throw in for Jamestown. They're in a hurry. Pass to Ramadahi. He's going to be able to collect it. Looks up, shoots, and headed away by Minot. Jamestown, a bit of an open look. Magi recover, and that is the end of the first half. Thought Jamestown had a goal earlier on that was taken off the board, and it's the Blue Jays with a lot of late shots in the first half, but none of them get past Grade and Wald. Scoreless first 40 minutes of play between Jamestown and Minot. We'll have the Magic Towing Intermission Report coming up next, recapping the first half and getting you prepared for half number 2 of what should be a good one later on tonight on the PSP Network.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. PSP Network. It's game day.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Shields Visa is more than just a card. It's the freedom to go. It's a gateway to explore and do more of what you love. Imagine where the Shields Visa can take you. So join us in discovering endless possibilities. Shields Visa. Together, we've got this.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
Zero, scoreless at the half here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. This is the Magic Towing Intermission Report. Remember, their phone number is 701-509-4011. There's no job too big or too small for Magic Towing, serving Western North Dakota. Remember that phone number one final time, 701-509-4011. Well, the first half about defense for Jamestown and Minot High tonight. A limited offensive highlight reel in the first half. There were a couple of good chances for the Blue Jays there in the first 40 minutes. However, they couldn't cash in on any of them. One got into the net, but was taken back due to an offsides penalty. And then at the very end, Jamestown maybe a little bit hurried, taking too many quick shot attempts maybe could have used the extra pass, but as we've seen, the extra pass probably going to get picked off, probably not going to be on target, as these defensives have made passing and advancing the ball very hard in today's match, as Jamestown and Minot currently even at 0. And, well, you're not winning, but you're also not trailing. So the second half going to be very important for these two teams, especially for Jamestown. Again, they want to be the team to win them all and go 16-0 in conference play. 14-0-1 or 14-0-2 does not count as a really perfect record. That wouldn't count since St. Mary's in 2003. So, like our Northern Plains leading their keys to the game mentioned, and I think they've really been true in this one. Jamestown still a lot to play for today. And for mine, it was the early minutes matter, and like we explained, getting to halftime in this position or even leading, maybe trailing by 1 goal, knowing how good that offense has performed in past matches for the Magi. It's worked out perfectly for both teams. Jamestown's in a competitive match, which they needed to really set themselves up for that state tournament coming up next week. And for Minot High, again, they're right here at 0-0, well within striking distance of taking the lead against Jamestown in the second half. Elsewhere tonight on the PSP Network, it's a lot of volleyball. Dickinson and Legacy, as well as Century and Minot North, both in set 3. Century has a 2-0 lead over the Sentinels up there at North Campus here in the Magic City of Minot. Dickinson and Legacy even at 1 set apiece, and set 3 is another good one. Dickinson currently leading 21-20. It's a timeout there again in set 3. So other viewing options tonight on the PSP Network, but I don't know if any of them are as good as this one between Jamestown and Minot High. It's a match with the top 2 teams in the WDA. Both are going to state. There's no WDA tournament this season. You just have to be the top 4 in the region, and you're in. We already know the 4 teams from the West. The East will get decided tonight as their final matches conclude today before they get set for the state tournament. We already know 2 East teams that will be participating, but there's 3 teams in the hunt for 2 final spots in the EDC. We'll break down that playoff picture more as we wrap up the Magic Towing Halftime Report, or maybe throughout the second half tonight, as it's going to be an important 40 minutes of soccer coming up next on the PSP Network. Jamestown and Minot scoreless at the break.
When property owners in Bismarck and Minot seek transformation, ServPro's construction program brings both vision and precision. From that very first hammer strike to the final touch of paint, our dedication remains unwavering. It's not just about remodeling, it's about legacy. In Minot and Bismarck, ServPro is your partner in transformation. We don't just build back, we elevate every space.
The best part about working at BNC National Bank is developing relationships.
I love working with people.
We've been here for over 25 years.
We've grown just like our communities we're in.
But we still have that personal connection with our customers.
And that's why we can find the best solutions for them.
It feels great seeing projects around the community and knowing we're a small part of making that happen.
We're helping people buy their first homes.
Plan for the future.
From startups to big business.
We're part of the community.
And we're proud of it.
Yours truly, BNC.
Shields Visa is more than just a card. It's the freedom to go. It's a gateway to explore and do more of what you love. Imagine where the Shields Visa can take you. So join us in discovering endless possibilities. Shields Visa. Together, we've got this.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
Whether it's getting an education, making priceless memories, learning to play, playing to learn, or simply getting where you need to go, the team at Ackerman Estvold has been behind these projects and countless others, developing critical infrastructure, valuable spaces, and even some good old-fashioned fun. Entrusted with the things you know, but delivering more than you may realize. Ackerman Espbold, trusted for decades and decades to come.
It's not yet time for the second half. We still got more of the Magic Towing halftime report here on the PSP Network. Jamestown and Minot back on the pitch. Put 40 minutes back on the clock. It's time for the second half here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. We left you in the commercial break, previewing what's at stake tonight in the EDC side of high school soccer in North Dakota. 3 teams in the running for 2 state tournament places. Already West Fargo and Fargo-Davies are in. West Fargo has won the East. They'll be the number 1 seed, going 10-0-3 this season. They did not have a loss in conference play. 3 draws for 33 points for the Packers. Fargo-Davies number 2, and the 3 teams going for the final 2 spots from the East. Grand Forks Red River with 20 points at the moment. West Fargo Cheyenne with 19, and Fargo South with 18. Again, this is the final day of competition in the EDC, and, well, of course, none of those teams play each other tonight. So Grand Forks Red River is in with a win. Cheyenne needs some help. They're in with a win as well. Fargo South needs some help. That's what I was trying to say, to get into the state tournament. But a loss for either of those teams is going to be pretty impactful in their quest for a state tournament qualification. Back to soccer here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. The second half is underway. It's Jamestown with the ball first. And they're going to keep it after that pass was a little bit short of the mark by Chanis. Chanis, again, we mentioned, won the MVP of the match against Minot North, and spoke to him after that game was complete and found out that I've been saying his name wrong the whole time, which is not something you want to hear as a broadcaster. Hey, Chanis, gonna get it right for the final soccer broadcast of the season. Sorry about that. Goal kick by Minot's Graydon Wald, who kept the shutout streak going for Minot High at least through the first half. It's now 3.5 matches consecutively that Minot has not given up a goal. 5-0 win over Century. A 7-0 win over Dickinson. And a 10-0 win over Minot North were their most recent 3 matches for the Magi. Heading into tonight's affair with Jamestown. As for the Blue Jays, a 5-0 win over Williston, a 1-0 win over Legacy, and a 5-0 win over Bismarck High. That's some tough competition. All of them at home for the Blue Jays. That win over Legacy. After that, they were able to claim the West Region title, take the picture with the poster, and go down in the record books. Wald has gotten a lot of action here to start the second half, so not necessarily going his way, but a lot of action right in front of the goalkeeper. Talking about the playoff race in the EDC going on tonight. It'll end today. We'll know the 8 teams going to state by tomorrow morning. We'll see if any of those ones go final throughout the night. Get you some live reports here on the PSP Network. PNC National Bank out-of-town scoreboard. And while the 4 teams going from the West are all known, well, we've got a whistle here, and this one might favor Jamestown a bit. I think Wald left the box while he had the ball. That is what it will be. So a free kick for Jamestown right at 18. And this is a real scoring opportunity for Jamestown to go ahead. Free kick on its way. Hardy is right next to it. But will he be the one to take it? Not too much of a run up for Hardy if he wants to strike it. But there is quite a wall right in front of him if he tries to pass this one into the box. Still setting up the defensive alignment. Wall just a step outside of the box. Now they move the 6-player deep group of red jerseys back a bit, giving Hardy a little more room. Hardy, too high. It's been the story of a lot of shots for Jamestown tonight. They just haven't been on target as Brady Hardy, 15 goals on the season, misses out on the go-ahead goal. Here it is on the Ryan Family Dealerships replay. For 50 years, Ryan has been a trusted name for car buyers in western North Dakota. Shop their entire inventory at driveryan.com for one of their 5 locations in Minot and Williston. So the free kick, pretty much a penalty kick there. Well, no, that's not even the same thing. Free kick from right around where a penalty kick would take place. Giving myself some credit. It's missed without a save. And so it's still 0-0. Session stands serving up some hot chocolate tonight for the folks in attendance at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Maybe some coffee as well. It's that kind of season now. October. Just 2 days ago, we were watching, or at least I was, watching baseball. It was 80 degrees, hardly any wind. 2 days later, I'm wearing a fall jacket calling soccer on a 60-degree and continuing to cool down night at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. But there's not as much wind now as there was when we showed up to the place 4 hours ago. Throw in for Minot. Jackson to Jackson. Steal by Jamestown. Blue Jays defense is really the strongest side right now of this second half. Of course, the offense is a lot of plays that look like this. Getting the ball into the box. It's still loose. Walder's going to dive for it and pick it up for Minot. But Minot's offense, they have not been able to do much here in the first 6 minutes of half number 2. Of course, the defense has been beat a couple times. Just gets away. Picked up by Marsland. Pardon me, that was Drew Bollender. 25, not 35. Jamestown again. In the box. But past the end line. Well, Minot bend but don't break defense for the Magi here in the second half. Jamestown has been the aggressors here in half number 2, but unable to find that go-ahead goal at the time being. Goal kick taken by Graydon Wald. Good time to remind you that today's broadcast on the PSP Network is brought to you by Pressridge Orthodontics. Specializing in braces and Invisalign for all ages, they offer 0% financing and free consultations. Virtual or in office, enjoy professional treatment in a fun, relaxed atmosphere. Check them out at minotbraces.com. Jamestown double teaming everybody. They are not letting Minot have their way here on offense, and that was the halftime conversation. for sure for the Blue Jays. They're going to win points today, whether it's 3 for a win or 1 for a draw. They're going to do it with a great level of defense. That second half game plan is working. Now can they get ahead on the scoreboard to try and make it a 3-point result, which they've done 14 times in 14 attempts. Pass up ahead for Jackson. It comes from Oswald. Jackson on the left side of the box. Splits the defense, but he lost it. Out of bounds. Maybe some folks here thinking that was a little bit too much contact, as Otley provided the defense and gave Jennison the hit to jar that ball loose. It will end up being a Serve Pro corner kick, though, for Minot. 24/7 emergency service and trained technicians specializing in fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's Serve Pro. Corner kick for the Magi, their second of the match. Janis. Headed away by Jamestown. Minot didn't even get a chance. Now Ramadahi sprints ahead. Edie Ramadahi. The pass is picked up by Jackson, and it goes to nobody except for a white jersey. Brady Hardy. Leaves it away. But Minot again holding off Jamestown from taking the lead a few minutes more. Just about to reach the 10-minute mark of the second half of play here from Minot, North Dakota. Ramadahi across the net. The wall didn't touch it. It was just off target. Jamestown has not had really any shots on goal today for Wald to save, or very few out of the total shots they've taken. Wald, a very good goalkeeper in the West region. Again, we talked earlier about different style of play from the East and the West, and out East, 73%. That's still a pretty good number. There's a lot worse. But in the West, 73, where you probably see, there's a good chance if you go to a soccer match, you're going to see 6 goals here in the West, whether it's by one team or 2 teams combined. That's kind of how it goes. So Wald definitely one of the top goalkeepers here in the region. See, nobody has a higher percentage of saves than Grant Lundy for Jamestown, who came into today's contest at 92%. So to think there would be that many goals today would not be a smart idea. Minot again throws in very quick. Oh, ball off the face of Tayson Solper, and this will stop play. Just took an awkward deflection and hits Solper in the nose. Tayson Solper, we mention it every time he's on the pitch. I think we keep saying it every match as well. He's playing better every time he's out there. And it's led to a 8-point season as a sophomore for Tayson. He's going to exit the match, it looks like. He's making his way toward Minot's sideline. And now he'll be taken off. Wasn't a hard hit or anything, but it's one of those that gets you by surprise. And then definitely doesn't feel all that great. Jamestown got the restart there, but nobody went after the ball. It's going to work out, though, for the Blue Jays, as another pass is intercepted. They have it inside of 18. And again, just well off target. And that went a little bit high, well off to the left. And it remains 0-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. With locations in North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona, BNC National Bank provides you with banking and wealth management services for your business and family. Visit them online at bnc.bank. Well, this is the final soccer broadcast of the season on the PSP network. And the Minot teams are back at home, at least when we have windows for their coverage. And the season ends this week. Thank you for your support of the PSP Network throughout this fall sports season. Still a long ways to go before the fall sports are officially concluded. Football and then volleyball, cross country. Can't forget about that sport, and even though we don't see it on the PSP Network, but it already is becoming postseason time for many, as the state girls golf tournament just finished. The Class A was down in Mandan. Congratulations to Red River, as they had the both team and individual champion of the soccer tournament. Another ball, it looks like it might have hit the face of a Minot player. It's been bad luck in the second half for Minot. Jamestown, they'll let Minot complete one pass, but the second one they won't, as Oswald took out the legs of an opponent there. Just a clean play, though. We'll sail over the goal and gets us back to our last conversation. The girls' golf season now already behind us. Red River again is state title holders in the individual and team event. The West Region boys tennis tournament here in Minot this weekend. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All of Thursday starting bright and early at 10 a.m. and going all the way into the night. Is the team event, one-day team event. Minot High, the #1 overall seed there. And that'll be right here in Minot, North Dakota. And the individual singles and doubles event will be on Friday and Saturday. Jamestown, they just haven't put one on goal yet. So Minot's given up a lot of shots to Jamestown. None of them, though, have needed a save by Graydon Wald. Two more substitutes coming in for Jamestown at the moment. Region cross country, region volleyball still a ways away. They'll have a whole month, really, of regular season action before we start thinking about postseason, but it's coming up. Swim and dive. That's a bit later than everything in the fall sports. They started quite a bit later. Long season there in the pool. Tell you what, if there was a sport that I would not want to do, luckily we didn't even have the opportunity to do swim and dive at my school, but swim and dive would probably be the sport that I would not participate in. Just don't think it suits my skill set. Soccer, on the other hand, a very entertaining game. And we have a good match right here on the PSP Network. Physical game as well, as Jamestown and Minot players collide there on the sideline. And this is actually going to be a foul against Jamestown. That's tough. I feel like that's just a competitive play there. There was no malicious intent into that play. Just two players going after a ball. Jamestown trying to save it and go ahead on the scoreboard. And Minot just playing good defense. But it's a foul against, well, no foul. Okay, there we go. Just a throw-in for Minot High, and they were just pointing out the possession. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll take a look at the Shields of Minot and Bismarck WDA soccer standings. While the EDC finishes up tonight, WDA conference play will go all the way till Saturday. And, of course, there's still some important matches in there, even though the four teams going to state are already known. Playing for seeding, Minot doesn't know what seed they're going to be just yet. A win, though, and Either this match against Jamestown or against Bismarck High on Thursday will guarantee Minot will be the number 2 seed. Jamestown and Williston with still a couple of matches to go. Williston has 2 remaining, both of them against Dickinson. They play the Midgets tonight and on Saturday. Legacy is at Bismarck High tonight, and then they will play Dickinson on Thursday. So some common opponents there. Dickinson, who hasn't won a match yet this year, can do a little spoiling for those 2 teams. Looking to get even into the top 2. Both of them can catch Minot, Legacy, and Williston. They're going to need some help, though, as Minot currently in second place. But we'll take a full look at the standings shortly. Still 22 minutes and 15 seconds to go in today's match. Activity picking up here on the near side. It's a steal by Steele. Wow, how did that work out? Steal by Jackson Steele. Jamestown. Everybody getting a touch here. Even Otley coming down the pitch from the defensive side. Hardy with a nice juke, but lost the handle of it. Minot, can they clear? Yes, they will be able to get it out of the box. Turnover against Jamestown. Just about the halfway point of this second half. Tell you what, this could be a big time for Minot on offense to get something at the net. A shot on goal, but right there it's taken away. A bad pass from Jackson. Picked off by the Blue Jays. Tell you that Grant Lundy, the goalkeeper for Jamestown, he's been standing out there not doing a whole lot for the Blue Jays as they've been controlling this match on offense. The ball's been in this area of the pitch most of the time. It's not a bad thing by any means that Lundy hasn't had too much action in this second half. But Minot, if they can really get the tempo going on a takeaway, they get Lundy a little bit cold just standing out there on the turf. But they've got to worry about the defense right now as Jamestown is in the box again. Some nice moves, but another steal by the Magicians. And the clear attempt is not picked up by Jamestown. It's picked up by Minot, but another pass is short. Still, Minot able to make something out of this play. It's going to go to Jackson. Jackson won't catch up to it. There's Grant Lundy. Why did I doubt the goalkeeper? He is on it. And picks up that ball for Jamestown as we have just 20 minutes to play in today's match. Obviously, Jamestown there in the right spots defensively. Haven't really been out of position so far, at least not when you force that many turnovers. As right there again in the middle of the passing lane. Some white jersey. Match that Jamestown is definitely controlled with their defense. Now just waiting for the offense, which has been so good this season. To get a point on the board and hopefully head home to Jamestown with 3 more points in the West Region standings. Blue Jays. 4 players down there on the forward line. Shot knocked down by Wald. Here's the Ryan Family Dealerships replay. Shot in by the Blue Jays from 11. And Wald knocks it down out of the air. It is a ServPro corner kick for Jamestown with 24/7 emergency service and trained technicians at ServPro. High pass into the box. And they'll be unable to collect it, will the Jays. Goal kick for Graydon Wald. Players nearly slid onto the pole vault area behind the goal post. That probably wouldn't feel too good either. Oh, missed touch there. Gives the ball back to Minot. Hardy knocks it down and out of bounds, but Minot wasting no time. Keep moving on offense. Just a long pass, not going to be tracked down by a teammate. It does go out of bounds in favor of Minot. Jamestown will send this one down the pitch. Nope. Intercepted. Now another chance for the Blue Jays. Tell you what, if there is a goal that ends up being scored in this match, it's going to catch us by surprise because these defenses are playing their hearts out today at Dwayne Carlson Stadium, which is really good to see. Shot that maybe impacted by the wind there. Off the crossbar. I just told you. If there's a goal that gets scored, it's going to catch us off guard. And thinking about one thing, and there was a very strong shot taken from the far side of the pitch off the crossbar. And once again, with the shot, it was Grady Eckert. He has been in scoring position a lot for Jamestown, but that one just an inch too high. Eckert again. Wald batted it down and will pick up the soccer ball. And will now hold on to it as Magicians and Blue Jays make their way down to the other side of the pitch. Pass goes a little bit too long. Stays in the air. And Jamestown will move it back up the field. Minot just has not been able to put anything together offensively here in the second half. That hasn't been in transition. Ramadahi, whether that was a pass or a shot or a little bit of both, it goes out of bounds. Goal kick for Minot. And these offensives, these forwards, these midfielders, they are frustrated. And the defenses gleaming with joy. Well, when you come into the match, if you're Jamestown, haven't allowed a goal since September 7th, and Minot has pitched 3 consecutive shutouts, why would we expect a goal to be scored? Rolling, rolling, rolling to the goalkeeper, Lundy. Does a little communicating. Here it is. Punts it down the field. Not picked up by the Blue Jays. Instead, it's Minot that will get some offense going. Maybe. Just maybe. Nope, they don't. Steal by Jamestown. Steal. Gets it back. Pass to Hardy. Headed away by Jackson. Sorry, Chanis. Got a little hung up there. And now Eckert. Jamestown right around the goal box. Minot clears. Get a chance to breathe a little bit here in the second half. They have not done much of that. Jamestown has had the pressure on since the second half started. Now for 27 minutes, it's really been all about the Blue Jays offense when it goes to possession. It's been all about the Minot High defense, though, when it comes to the scoreboard. As They have kept the Blue Jays off of tonight's BNC National Bank scoreboard. Could be something. Jamestown turns it into nothing, though, for Minot High. Save it from going out of bounds. No, flags up. They did not. Minot High will get a throwing chance. 12.5 minutes remain before the planning team financial advisors Shots Crossroads post-game show. And got some awards there. Sport Clips MVP. Jobbers move the game. Stop. Shoot. And it's a goal for Jamestown. They break the ice. Goal scored by Carter Genter. Third of the season. And that one will stay on the scoreboard for the Blue Jays. It's 1-0. Here's the Ryan Family Dealerships replay of our first point of the night. Genter got the defense to fly by, and Wald was just right in between. Going up to meet Genter before he could shoot it, and staying in net to make a reaction to the shot, and Genter wins. Gets both players out of position. And Jamestown, take a deep breath. They're in the lead, and that perfect record is still alive. Jamestown trying to add to it right away. Goal in the 68th minute for Jamestown. Comes from the senior Carter Genter. Minot will now have to play from behind. We spoke highly about the second half offense for Minot, something that really didn't have much in the first half and first 3 quarters of the season. It was all about scoring early and then just using the defense to hold on to that first half lead that they had built. But the last 3 matches, 22 total goals, 15 have been in the second half for the Magi. And they're going to need a second half goal today to draw even with Jamestown. It's in the box. Numbers there for Minot High. Jamestown, can they get it out of there? Goes out of bounds. Minot High throw in. They're going to throw it in quickly. Try to at least. Jamestown applying the pressure on defense. Player down, and a foul committed by the Blue Jays, Jake Anderson. So free kick coming from Minot High. Oswald and Echanis, they're next to the ball. They set up Jamestown's defense. Echanis looks like he'll be the one taking the free kick. Echanis to the front teammate there. Didn't go up high to try and get a few more players involved. Instead, went to Pelaya. And it didn't work. Jamestown gets the ball back to Minot's defensive line, and now a steal. Back and forth at the midfield circle. Still with the Magi. Echanis. Oswald and his pass. He wanted to go to Workman. Workman stopped. And it's going to get all the way to the goalkeeper, Grant Lundy. Inside of 10 minutes remain in the match today. Jamestown a 1-0 lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard thanks to Carter Genter. 68th minute goal. Snapping the scoreless streak for Minot High at 3 and almost another complete game. And the Blue Jays trying to make sure they get win number 15 with the second goal to pad the lead, but it won't be on that play. I think now we Before we run out of time today, get into the Shields of Minot WDA soccer standings. Shields of Minot and Bismarck have every sporting good possible, along with fashion and footwear. You can shop online at shields.com. Shields is a proud supporter of the PS Network's mission of promoting local athletes. Shields of Minot and Bismarck WDA soccer standings. Of course, it's Jamestown, Minot, Williston, and Legacy. Jamestown WDA champions. You can already put that title next to their name with still another match to play on Thursday at home against Century. Minot playing for the number 2 seed in the state tournament with a win at any point this week. It has to be a comeback win today against the Blue Jays. And Williston and Legacy both with 25 points in the standings. Williston has 8 wins with 5 losses and 1 draw. Legacy 7 wins, 3 losses, and 4 draws. Williston has the head-to-head advantage over the Sabres. And they're playing for state tournament seeding. We know the 4 teams that are in, and then the bottom half of the standings this year, Mandan St. Mary's, the first team out with 21 points. 6 wins, 6 losses, and 3 draws. Bismarck and Century both at 16 points apiece. 5 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw for both sides coming into this 8th and final week of the season. Again, Bismarck, first time they're ever going to miss the state boys soccer tournament, which started in 1995. Surf Pro corner kick for Jamestown. Header, and it's off the crossbar. No second chance there for the Blue Jays. It's going to get all the way to Dylan Jackson. Jackson, pass, as they've been tonight, a little bit off target. Still, though, Minot with a good chance. Ball too far ahead, and the passing just has not been clean for Minot tonight. That's taken away many chances for the offense to come back. But Minot will, again, continue playing out the final 6.5 minutes. But Jamestown's defense has been feeding off of those off-target passes for the Magi and keeping their opponents off the scoreboard for what could be a 7th consecutive match. Finishing out the standing segment, Bismarck and Century again tied with 16 points. Minot North, they finish in 8th with 9 points in their first season of varsity soccer, 3 wins and 11 losses. Actually saw their score of the varsity match went final earlier today. Century improves to 6-8-1. Minot North drops to 3-12. Again, both those programs have 1 match to go in the season. And Dickinson with 3 matches still this week. 2 of them against Williston, 1 against Legacy, 0-13. So they're playing teams that are pretty hungry here in the final week of the season. Dickinson will get some really good tests here in this final week. There's a player down for Minot just due to cramps. It looked like they were trying to work his right leg. And now being helped off is Jacob Jackson. Hopefully it's nothing too severe, as Jackson, an integral piece to the Minot High defense, which has played very well in the end of September and now start of October, and will be needed when Minot heads out east to Fargo for the state boys soccer tournament. It's got to be a pretty cool feeling, doesn't it, to play your final week of the regular season and already know going to state. There's not a whole lot of pressure on you as a team to perform. Obviously, as I was told by both sides, still coming out here, it's still a very important match. They understand how good their opponents are, but now it's just kind of like a preseason match almost. Just find the things you really need to iron out, find the things you really need to work on. Jamestown, they'll even say there are still things that we need to work on, even as the top team across the state at 14-0. But a good day to do it in Jamestown. Found the offense in the end. Still 5.5 minutes to go. Minot can score in a hurry, and they're going to try to now, but Jamestown hanging on to possession. And we'll take these last 5 minutes pretty slow. No need to rush anything if you're the Blue Jays. Throw-ins, free kicks, restarts, whatever, you name it. I'll look at the ball for a while. Setup. Receiving this free kick. Nobody will. Wall just knees it out of play. So here goes Jamestown. Do a little jogging on the sideline. Keep your body warm. And then there's the throw-in into the box. Header, second shot. On goal here, and it's another one for the Blue Jays. And that's going to be Jackson Steele with the goal on a bit of an assist. The header ends up being the assist by Ian Leary, and Jamestown leads 2-0, and that one might just do it tonight here in Minot. The Ryan Family Dealerships replay. Nice assist on the throw-in. Oh, sorry, I had that one backwards. Steele to Leary for the goal. And we talk about Ian Leary. Now his 14th goal of the season. Again, he plays defense, folks. His main position is on defense, and he has 14 goals on the year. Obviously, many of them coming on those restart plays, free kicks, throw-ins, corners. But when Leary has been asked to pitch in for this great Jamestown offense, he has done his job well, and doing so again tonight as the Blue Jays, that seems to be the finishing touches on win number 15 as they go up 2-0 over Minot. The Magicians offense just, again, stopped almost immediately by the Jamestown defensive group. Blue Jays kept out of the goal box there, but and their priority for all 80 minutes today, and especially the last 3.5, all about defense. That's what will give Jamestown the 3 points if they can hold on to this 2-goal lead for the final 3:20. Defense all the way for the Blue Jays, especially in the second half. The defense, it was good in half number 1, of course, but half number 2 was a whole different group. Nice spinning move there. Trying to see who that was. It is getting increasingly hard to see the numbers tonight. Player down in the box for Jamestown. That will lead to a penalty kick, and now they can really add to the agony here for Minot High in their final home match of the season. As fouled was Brady Hardy. Again, 2-time All-Stater on the second team, and probably a good guess to say he'll be on the All-State list on a first-team basis here in 2024. Taking the penalty kick is Edie Ramadahi. The only team to not allow a Ramadahi goal this season is Bismarck High. Ramadahi scored plenty of goals against Minot High earlier in the season, but he's been shut out so far today. Now a run up for the penalty, and that goal is good as well. Jamestown 3 goals in the final 12 minutes. Even though that celebration is not a tremendous soccer fan. So for Ramadahi. Here's the Ryan Family Dealerships replay of the penalty kick. Yeah, and Jamestown will be celebrating all the way home as they can go for a perfect 16-0 record. It's never been done before in WDA soccer. Against Century at home on Thursday night. Minot High. Final 3 minutes here at home for many of those seniors for the Magi. Seniors like Pelaya, Echanis, Dangle, Workman, Amsbury. Of course, Dylan Jackson, Josh Marsland, Kyle Eklund, Isaac Stewart, Jacob Jackson. Nathan Wistison, part of that senior class as well for Minot High. Still a lot of soccer left to play, but none of it will be at this field anymore for the Magi. It's a regulation match. One more save by Lundy. Maybe we'll have another one. Still 2:15 to go, but Lundy has not let a ball go into the net in now nearly 7 matches. Almost official. 2 minutes to go on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Remember, the Ryan Family Dealer Planning Team Financial Advisors Shots Crossroads postgame show is coming up next. – 3-0 lead for the Jamestown Blue Jays, West Region champions. In search of perfection. Kyle Eklund had it poked away by the Blue Jays. By a slide tackle attempt by Jackson Steele. Throw in for Minot High. Be taken by Eklund. Goes to Pelaya. Box out move there by John Belzer. Gets the ball back to the Blue Jays. 60 seconds remain. Long pass ahead by Brady Hardy. It'll go to the goalkeeper, Graydon Wald. He's going to try and keep this ball in play as much as he can. Give Minot a chance. It's not over yet. But Ramadahi's defense will, again, continue to seal things for Jamestown tonight. Hardy, left, right. He's past the defense. Has one more to beat. Instead, gives it off to his teammate. Jamestown will try and hold the soccer ball. Can they do it for 29 more seconds? Into the box. And now back out towards the corner. 21 seconds remain. Gonna hold it in the corner. Still alive. And now out of bounds. Throw in for the Blue Jays. 10 seconds to go. What a win for Jamestown. Again, propelled by the defense. First goal didn't come until the 68th minute by Gender. And then 2 more goals at the end as Jamestown picks up the win. 15th of the year for the Blue Jays. 45 points in the West Region standings for Jamestown this season with a 3-0 win over Minot. They take the season series 2-0 against the Magi. We'll be back with the Planning Team Financial Advisors Shots Crossroads postgame show after this commercial break.
Why do I bank at First Western? Easy. They take care of their customers.
That's right, Carson. You may be number 11 on the field, but at First Western, you and our customers are never just a number.
First Western provides the best in customer service.
When our customers call with a question, we answer their call personally.
Now that's pro-level service.
Thanks, Carson. Professional, friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western. You can bank on us.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
A little bit more here from Dwayne Carlson Stadium. It's the Planning Team Financial Advisors Shots Crossroads post-game show. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit them online at planningteam.com, helping clients work toward financial freedom. Recapping today's match, a Jamestown win. That's nothing new for the Blue Jays this season. 15-0 on the year are the folks from Jamestown. Again, your final score 3-0 in favor of the Jays over Minot High. But if we want to start this recap, it's got to start with the defense for both sides. The first half, it was a first half shutout, and our Northern playing team their keys to the game said that would be a real big part of this one for Minot High in search of a win over Jamestown, trying to spoil that perfect record. Or the Magi today, and it was tied at the break at 0-0. Minot High stood their ground on defense. The offense, well, they had some possessions, but again, Jamestown, they played extraordinary defense. That's really where this match started. We got started, and the tone was set as both teams understood this was going to be a defensive battle, and who was going to be the first one to break. And Minot High, they got tested the most out of halftime. Jamestown had the ball in the box a ton, a lot of off-target shots. So Minot, they were holding up, but it was clear that Jamestown was close to breaking that ice, to breaking the scoreless tie. Minot, on the other hand, just never really put enough pressure on Jamestown's defense to even make the Blue Jays start to cave in a little bit. And there was even a point in that second half, we said Jamestown's goalkeeper, Grant Lundy, he had been pretty inactive for a while there as Jamestown was controlling the possession for a majority of pretty much the entire second half, as eventually in the 68th minute, the Jamestown Blue Jays would get the winning goal. That came off the foot of Carter Genter, his third of the season, 9th total point for the senior forward. Genter, the goal with 12 minutes remaining in the match, puts Jamestown in front, and then it was on the defense just to hold for the Blue Jays, and they did that for sure. As Minot High, Lundy would have to make a save later on in the second half, but again, really nothing even close got to Lundy in this match, as the Jamestown defense just built a wall against Minot High, intercepting passes left and right, and just forcing passes that were off target as well. The Blue Jays swarming defense Eventually, Jamestown would pad their lead a little bit on a throw-in from the near side. It was an assist from Jackson Steele and a goal, number 14 on the year for the defenseman Ian Leary, as the Blue Jays went up 2-0, and they were not done yet. As, of course, our BNC National Bank scoreboard says, 3-0 Jamestown win. It came on a penalty kick by Edie Ramadahi, his 24th goal of the year, 38 points this season for Ramadahi for Jamestown, as that would end up being your final score. Jamestown's defense held for 2 more minutes, and that was all they needed to do as they improved to 15-0 on the year. And they will go for their perfect 16-win regular season on Thursday against Jamestown with a 3-0 victory over the Magi. Well, it's time to hand out some awards today as part of our Planning Team Financial Advisors Shots Crossroads post-game show, and probably going to be a lot of defense in these Sport Clips MVP and Serve Pro Move of the Game nominations. We start with the MVP. Sport Clips brings the MVP of this matchup. They're the home to the MVP haircut experience. Nothing comes close to making you feel like an MVP, quite like the MVP experience at Sport Clips. Check it online with the hairstylist today at sportclips.com. And our MVP in this one is going to be Ian Leary. You know what? Just looking at the season stats, you can tell this is a guy that puts in a lot of work. He's a defensive player, meaning not expected really to score a lot of goals throughout the match. They probably just happened by chance sometimes, and obviously on set plays. And when Leary does a lot of work defensively for Jamestown, you could give it to anybody on that defensive line for the Blue Jays, as they really won this one for Jamestown tonight. But Leary, he also added yet another goal to his number this season. 14 goals for Leary in 2024, and still counting, as Jamestown has many more matches left to play this fall season. But Leary, tonight's MVP of the game for his defensive and offensive performance, really encapsulated what Jamestown was all about tonight, as they, as a team, played fantastic out here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium this evening. As for our ServPro move of the game, with 24/7 emergency service and trained technicians using advanced technology and specializing in fire and water cleanup and restoration, it's ServPro. And, well, there were 3 goals for Jamestown. They came at the very end of it. A great header assist by Jackson Steele to Leary. That was a good candidate. Of course, the nice move by Genter to set up his first goal to get Jamestown on the BNC National Bank scoreboard was nice, and those were all great. But again, it's time to give credit to Jamestown's defense in this one, shutting out Minot High. The ServPro move of the game, the defensive effort for the Blue Jays today, as this is now 7 consecutive matches that Jamestown has played where they have not allowed a goal. And it's the number 1 offense in the state, and it's the number 1 defense in the state, not just in the West region, but across all of North Dakota. Nobody scores more and concedes less goals in the Jamestown Blue Jays, so it all starts with the defense. We mentioned one part in this broadcast where the offense, that really helps for Jamestown. Their ability to score is going to get them into some really good positions here in the state tournament. But when you go up against East teams, it's good defense that's really going to win you matches. And, yeah, Jamestown, they have all the pieces to go all the way this season. They've already claimed the WDA title, and now they'll go for more next week in Fargo at the state soccer tournament. Well, that just about does it for our planning team financial advisors. Shots Crossroads postgame show. Shots Crossroads is your postgame headquarters. Order online at shotscrossroads.com for their delicious menu that includes the famous number 99. Order online again at shotscrossroads.com. Team buses are always welcome, but I think we do have some scores from the East. We know the 8 teams now in the state tournament. The final results today, Cheyenne absolutely blew out Fargo North 7-1, so the Mustangs are in. And Grand Forks Red River shut out the defending state champions Shanley 4-0. Shanley will miss the state tournament. Red River is in. So, again, we don't know the seeding for the West region just yet. Only Jamestown, and we know that they will be playing West Fargo Cheyenne. So, your matchups, again, for the state tournament in for the state tournament, we have Jamestown, the number 1 seed of the West, taking on West Fargo Cheyenne, the number 4 seed from the East. Red River will be the 3 from the East. Fargo Davies, the number 2, and West Fargo, the number 1. Again, Minot, Legacy, and Williston still playing for those 2, 3, and 4 seeds throughout the season. Minot can lock up the number 2 position, and a matchup against Grand Forks Red River, a rematch from an early season contest with a win against Bismarck High, or just points depending on the results of Legacy and Williston's matches the rest of the week. Well, that'll do it for us from Minot, North Dakota, and our coverage of boys soccer on the PSP Network this year. It started on a 90-degree day in mid-August. It ends on a chilly 50-degree evening here on the first day of October. For our great PSP Network crew putting on these great shows this season, we've got plenty more to come in all the other sports throughout the year. I'm Owen Patterson. Repeating your final score for the final time, it's Jamestown 3, Minot High 0. And we hope you join us for high school volleyball on Thursday night, football on Friday, and all of our PSP Network productions throughout the year. Until then, have a good night, everybody.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. PSP Network. It's game day.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shaw's Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shaw's Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shaw's Crossroads.